Welcome back to Gym Challenge Sundays. We are back with our semifinal. I'm Arnie Wolf.
Hi, this is Cornell again.
And this is going to be one fun match. We've got Brandon Davis and Brian Collins, but what's really cool about both their matchups, we are seeing some really unique Pokemon. We're seeing Hawlucha, we're seeing Meowscarada back for the first time pretty much since Regulation A/Series 1. We're seeing Sand, yes, Sand, Lycanroc Tyranitar. I will always champion that, I love that. And you're going to see Brandon on your left, Brian on your right. But this is going to be one really fun match. And double Psy Spam, which is back, which means we're going to see Psy Spam in the final for sure. Again, going back to what I was saying, Trick Room, it's going to be big again. I think people are going back to Trick Room sets. I look at what's happening here today.
Yeah, this is really going to be some fiery semifinal matchups because one of these two will move on to our grand finals matchup to escape here on the semifinal matchup. The loser, sadly, will be eliminated.
So here we go. We're getting into it.
It's interesting to see that Hawlucha is in this team because you typically never see the unburdened Pokemon do well nowadays,
no.
or Pokemon that like consider item get a benefit. Like we've seen that with Roaring Moon, yes, but it's kind of fallen out of favor. I mean, maybe Paul Chula might have saved it a little bit, but
I think it's interesting here. It's Psychic Seed. You have two options. You go fast or you go slow. You set up Trick Room with Armor Rigidity or your Hawlucha and you outspeed everything. But also Choice Scarf, Meowscarada. That's fun.
I remember talking about that set with my friends. I was like, am I crazy for using Meowscarada Choice Scarf just because Chien-Pao and Fluttermane exist?
Nope.
Apparently I'm not crazy.
No, we're not. That's more seems maybe work here. I mean, it definitely made it work, but
both teams are locked in. Both players are locked in, and we are going to get set for game number 1 of our semifinal matchups between Brandon Davis and Brian Collins.
Let's do this, Brandon and Brian. Here we go. I think what's interesting that a lot of people didn't really
watch them both lead Needy Armor Rouge.
Mirror match. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen that.
Well, we're going to see Brian's Pokemon first because we're watching this from Brandon's point of view, and he's going to bring out Lycanroc Tyranitar.
Double Sand, let's go.
And the other side for Brandon Davis is got Hawlucha and Kingambit.
Overall, Brandon's in a good spot. Considering Hawlucha has that weakness, that Tyranitar needs to switch or Terra, because Hawlucha has a move which can knock it out called Drain Punch. And Acrobatics is not going to be boosted here, so I think this is not a bad option. While Lycanroc can't really do too much either. I mean, obviously it's going to go first, but it can only Rock Slide, which isn't going to do much on Kingambit. You can also Howl and boost your Tyranitar's attack stat, but with Hawlucha in the field, I'm be surprised. Okay, this is definitely going to be Tyranitar. There's just I have no doubt in my mind.
I mean, we don't have that's Brandon at all, but nope, it is the Tyranitar flying.
I was like, it has to be. But otherwise, you lose to Drain Punch right away. So I think that's very wise.
I mean, we gotta see what Brandon does in this return because we see the Lycanroc protecting. Doesn't want to do anything to deal with this Hawlucha or the Kingambit, as a matter of fact. Hawlucha goes for the Drain Punch and went into the Lycanroc, not into the Tyranitar, so probably baiting the Tyranitar to Terastallize early.
Still not horrible.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, that low kick is going to get rid of Kingambit. Tyranitar is just brutal. Actually, the good thing with Tyranitar, if you Terastallize it, you have a way to beat both these things. With the Hawlucha, you have your Terra Blast, which it is going to do a massive amount of damage. If not, you've got low kick, so you just picked one. And
here comes the Indeedee.
Okay, now you are in again really solid position. With Hawlucha up, it can now has the acrobatics, but Tyranitar is quite bulky. You can Rock Slide X2, and that will do some nice damage on Hawlucha, I'd say.
I mean, it's neutral damage, so it's not going to be super effective because most flying types would be a lot of rocks, but Hawlucha's a fighter, so
yeah, it's going to come down to Hawlucha's bulk, which we don't really know because I don't think I've ever seen Hawlucha on ladder or anywhere in this format yet. So, although I've always liked, but I think with Drain Punch kind of secludes bulkier. Wouldn't be surprised if actually we just see straight up Terra Blast onto it. As for Indeedee, you kind of have to either hit it with the Rock Slides. Another option you could do, Assurance. Rock Slide and then Assurance on the Indeedee. That will knock it out, most likely. And unless here, this Indeedee Terrestrials to Fairy, but it's not going to. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Hawlucha's taking it pretty well. Goes for the Drain Punch, does not get flinch. We'll put it into the red health.
Okay, so with it in the red health, Hawlucha's basically recovered
almost all of it.
But the Rock Slide did quite a bit.
Dazzling Gleam coming in, will knock out the Lycanroc, do very little damage to the Tyranitar thanks to that Assault Vest that it's holding.
And I think they're either Assurance or
oh wait, no, it's not Assault Vest. It's actually not Assault Vest. It's
it's Choice Band. Oh, it's Choice Band. Okay, well, now if you're Tyranitar, Time to switch. Your low kick doesn't do very much.
Especially with a double resist, I think.
Yeah, both of these double resist on Hawlucha and then
Wait, is it double resist? I don't. No, it's regular resist because
no, it's neutral. Yeah. I guess
it's neutral on Indeedee, so but Indeedee's not heavy.
yeah. I don't blame Brian actually here because that wasn't horrible because if Hawlucha Terra to steal, then it would definitely have done a lot, but it didn't.
Dondozo comes in. Does it mean that Brian has the Tatsugiri in the back?
I would bet money. I would bet money on that.
I mean, it makes sense now because if you choice banded on the Tyranitar,
yeah.
then you get the double benefit here if you go into Tatsugiri here because you not only reset your move slot, but you also get a commander boost in. But at the same time, indeed you can just make sure Hawlucha gets set up.
Yeah, Hawlucha here. The thing is, Hawlucha's just it's solid. I think it has a sword stance.
He does have sword stance.
It still can't touch Dondozo. Dondozo's so bulky.
Yeah, unaware is going to make it do that. I mean, we do see Brandon with the Meowscarada in the back, so
that's your best bet.
How do you get Meowscarada on the field safely, though?
That's the neat part. You don't. No, I'm just kidding. I think what your best bet if you're Brian here.
Obviously, see the Tatsugiri coming here. Going to activate the commander, doubling the stats of Dondozo.
Get rid. If you here, you got to get rid of Hawlucha. I think you got to get rid of Hawlucha or anything because you do not want. You don't want to deal with Hawlucha attacking you twice because if you get rid of it now, I mean, Indeedee may follow me. Either way, it's fine. Wave Crash, I'm guessing, is what we'll see. But that Meowscarada, that is, especially with Choice Scarf, that's scary. Yeah, so I'm guessing we're gonna see this Indeedee go down, but that Choice Scarf with the flower trick, that may be enough. Drain Punch is not gonna do very much.
Too little.
Yeah, this Dondozo is bulky as heck. I mean, I played it earlier, and it's just whatever you do.
Here's a Rock Slide at +2. It's doing decent damage.
That's very, very smart because the Rock Slide there, you know that whatever's on the field right now is not going to take massive damage. Is not going to do massive damage.
Oh, Tatsugiri's taking damage.
Oh, the Sandstorm damage. I forgot Tatsugiri still takes the Sandstorm damage, but
and also indeed he's showing the safety goggles on it, which means it's not going to get hit by powder-based moves. It's not going to get hit by powder moves. It's not going to hit by weather affected moves.
And no Sandstorm.
Oh yeah, right. We don't have hail. We do not hail anymore. We have snow.
Yeah,
right.
snows have been fun, but my weather of choice is still sand.
Well, indeed, you're gonna swap up for that Meowscarada. This might be dangerous territory for Brandon.
As long as Meowscarada survives it with a comfortable enough HP to take it.
Hawlucha going for the attack, doesn't want to take any damage from a potential Rock Slide, but will this be a Rock Slide at all? It will be a Rock Slide. First call, will it hit? It does hit.
It's Pokemon. And
but this has half damage. I mean, the Choice Scarf's going to come into play, but that's still dangerous.
I think the Choice Scarf, it's going to come down to how much Flower Trick does.
It also is going to come down to how fast Dondozo is, too.
Yeah, I think with the Choice Scarf, it's pretty... Like, I don't see any reason Meowscarada has anything to worry about, especially Terra Grass. That's what you got to worry about.
Oh, we do see Terra Grass coming in.
Yeah. And then you Acrobatics, yeah. That's the way to do it. I mean, the question is, does this Dondozo survive with, like, any HP?
And the Tyranitar already burned the Terastallization, so this is going to be weak.
I think one thing that Brian's got to do going into the next match, maybe save that Terra for Dondozo. On grass, it puts Meowscarada in a position where it can only U-turn, which is not very cool.
And the Acrobatics is doing actually decent damage. We're going to see, Meowscarada outspeed.
It's going to KO.
Oh, absolutely. This is the Urshifu that we all missed.
The interesting thing, though, I believe that Tatsugiri is Choice Specs, so it's not Choice Scarf. So I think that... Just oof, that's all I
think the question now, because Sandstorm is on, so the Tyranitar is going to reset the Sandstorm right now. But here's the better question. How much damage is double damage Acrobatics doing to Tyranitar? Because if it's not doing enough damage, this still could be trouble because it's Tatsugiri.
I think it's not going to do enough. It's going to come down to Rock Slide, I think. That's my prediction, because I'm guessing we're going to see Flower Trick going to Tatsugiri. Well, it has to. And then you're going to, like I said, you can do Acrobatics. Maybe attacked for this turn, but Acrobatics onto Tyranitar, and then it's going to come down to Rock Slide. If Rock Slide doesn't knock out both of these, then Brandon has a pretty solid way to beat Tyranitar. I wouldn't actually be surprised if we see Meowscarada's... Meowscarada's just going to stay in, but it will probably switch out if it lives this turn.
Hawlucha goes for the attack, doesn't want to take any damage. Probably the win condition right now for Brandon if Meowscarada goes down.
You have to keep that Hawlucha in, otherwise it is not doing much. But this Meowscarada...
This should KO the Tatsugiri, right?
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay, so...
What does the Tyranitar do here? Does it go for Terra Blast? Does it go for Rock Slide? Or Rock Slide? Will it connect on Meowscarada? That's another important question. It's 80 accuracy, and it missed.
Okay, welcome to Pokemon, everyone. This is what you have to deal with. That is very, very good for Brandon. Yeah, Flower Trick, it's on a flying type, but it's Flower Trick. It's guaranteed critical hit. It's going to do solid. So now the question for Brian, do you live a Flower Trick Acrobatics combo? If you do, that Tyranitar just saved your entire game, and you can be pretty confident as long as the Rock Slide hits that Indeedee is going to go down to a single target Rock Slide. It's down to about 40% if I remember correctly. Otherwise, but the thing is, you need to live both these hits, and without the resistance of the Acrobatics, that's going to be
It's pick your poison. It's doing decent damage.
I think I actually may live it.
Wait, no, it might not because of the Sandstorm.
Oh my gosh, KO'd by your own Sandstorm. That may be what
Because
happens.
of Flower Trick, it won't be enough. Maybe Tyranitar has one more turn. But also, Rock Slide has to connect on both Pokemon. It missed something.
That's it.
It missed something. It missed a Hawlucha. And now here's the thing.
That's it.
Now it doesn't matter because the
You
Hawlucha.
just click Acrobatics.
No, you just click Protect and then it just dies to its own Sandstorm.
Oh, that's true. It does actually die to its own Sandstorm. I bet in 2 turns. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah. It's to take another Sandstorm chip damage. Tyranitar should take this one.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
It's over.
Oh.
2 Rock Slide misses deciding this game for Brian.
Well, that's the risk with running sand. And actually, I mean, I love sand, but that is the thing that does bring you down most, is when one of those rock slides miss. And yeah, at this point, you just protect it, yeah.
Yeah, battle's canceled. Yeah, but Ryan sees the writing on the wall. We're going to game 2.
Good job, Brandon, there for that. With that, I mean,
I still think that Brian
played it really well.
Yeah, he played it well, but I think he burned his Terra a little too early.
I agree. I think if you Terra the Dondozo, would have been a better position, because I don't think Acrobatics would have done as much. I mean, it does a lot, but the issue is Flower Trick crits and ignores your stat boosts. Acrobatics does not. Acrobatics, you have to still deal with the defensive boost, which I think the combination of U-turn and Acrobatics would do maybe 50%. That allows Dondozo to go for anything to KO, and I think that's maybe what would work. The thing is, you also have Rest, which is really nice, and that's actually not bad, because having recovery options on Dondozo is a must, whether it's leftovers or sleep or whatever it is, and that may actually come into play later. I think honestly, lead the same. If you Brandon, just do the same thing. I don't think it. I think the same thing will work. I don't think King Gambit's necessarily the best bet.
It's good. It's also good to know that the Tyranitar is choice banned, because they got stuck in a situation where after it low kicked the King Gambit, it was kind of left there doing next to nothing before I had to switch to Tatsugiri.
Yeah, I think honestly Fluttermane probably is a better pick over King Gambit, but honestly King Gambit's still really good. That I wouldn't be surprised to see it back. The Terra to Grass on Meowscarada really helped, but I don't know if it's too crucial. I think it was.
It was crucial against the Dondozo, and it's not sure if it was crucial on the Tyranitar.
Yeah, so like, I don't
or
know.
the Tatsugiri that matter because it's neutral.
Yeah, so I don't know if necessarily think I wouldn't be surprised if we see King Gambit here go for its Terra instead, so that way you remove the low kick effects. Yeah, so we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Similar.
We're gonna see something different here from Brandon.
Similarly, different ending. I think Brian's gonna go for the same. I think at least Tatsugiri Dondozo will be back, but are you gonna lead Sand or Size Mammoth first? Like, it's one of the two. But I would be very surprised not to see Dondozo, because it's without the exception of Meowscarada, Dondozo hits a lot really hard. I mean, those rock slides from both Dondozo and Tyranitar. So I actually wouldn't be surprised to see the same exact thing come out, because with Brian, if you did hit those rock slides, you would have won. So it's not like it was a playing issue; it was a luck issue.
Let's see what Brian leads. He's going to lead the same lead again, Lycan Rock and Tyranitar. And we're going to see Hawlucha King Gambit for Brandon. The mind game's not going to this Tyranitar because of the choice ban. Who do you target?
I think honestly,
and also he's in the same situation as last game. Do you burn the Terra early in the Tyranitar? Do you swap it out, or do you just risk it?
I think personally, I feel like it's a good idea to maybe swap out Tyranitar here. I don't think you should keep it in, but go for like a Rock Slide, or depending on what you bring out. If you bring out like Dondozo or Howl, that could do some nice damage without having to go with Tatsugiri. But one thing with Lycan Rock is you kind of are limited to rock moves. So like, I wouldn't even be surprised if we see. I don't know. I just don't think Tyranitar is going to be in a safe position. Okay, it's going to Terra.
Okay, so yeah, the Terra stabilizing again. Or will this be like Tyranitar again, deploying? So this could mean one of two things. It's either going to go for the look under the King Gambit, or it's going to go for Terra Blast. I don't see him going Rock Slide at all.
I think Terra Blast, because I think King. Yeah.
Oh yeah, if Brian read this correctly, this would be devastating.
I think it's.
There's the first rock slide.
Okay, so that's like rock slide onto.
That's a Lycan rock slide.
Going
rock
for the
slide.
flinch, I guess.
And here's it connects. Does decent damage.
That's a lot, yeah.
Drain Punch comes in. Oh, he didn't go for it.
Didn't expect the Terra there. Okay.
Now, did he go for the Terra Blast or did he go for the low kick?
50-50. I don't.
Oh,
Rock slide.
Rock slide instead, actually. Will it connect first of all? Second of all, oh, I missed!
If you're Brian, this is one of those games where you're going to look back in 2 years and laugh at how bad your luck was. 3 rock slide misses in a row, essentially. Even though it's a course of 2 games, still, I mean, that's just unfortunate. I feel bad for Brian. I know that pain. That pain, if you are a Pokemon player, you know that pain.
I'm actually really surprised he didn't go for the Terra Blast, because if you know how loose is the threat, why go for the Rock Slide if you have a guaranteed knockout with Terra Blast?
I think Rock Slide probably still would have KO'd.
I mean, yeah, but it still wasn't secure. Like,
Yeah.
look what happened.
Yeah, that's the risk when you play Rock Slide. The only thing is, the only reason I can see him not really going for Terra Blast would be maybe for the back, if you have Armor Rouge and Indeedee, Flutter Mane, Meowscarada, whatever it is, those Rock Slide does better into those. But
Howl comes out.
okay, this Rock Slide will potentially KO the Hawlucha, and Hawlucha can't really do all that much, even with acrobatics.
Here goes Acrobatics, not doing a lot of damage because it's still holding a Psychic Seed. Rock Slide does double connect this time. This will knock out Hawlucha. Does
Finally.
somewhat damage to the Kingambit.
I think this Kingambit's going to be able to do some.
Will it flinch though? It flinches.
Brian's trading in his luck now. There you go. It's like, okay, fine, I'll take the miss, but I'll trade you a flinch. Now,
Hawlucha's out of the picture, so does he breathe easy or does he worry? Because now the Armor Rouge comes in, and now you have to worry about a potential expanding force. Now that you lost your Dark type.
I think here you.
Oh, he's going for it. He's going for the Terra Psychic. He's going full damage.
I think here with the Rock Slide, that Tyranitar, I would switch Tyranitar out. I would switch Tyranitar out probably right now to Dondozo. Oh, Dondozo will go down either. I don't know. If you're Brian, this is one of those ones you're hoping you brought in your own size spam to switch in. But the Kingambit coming out.
This is a big turn for Brandon. If he gets this curve correctly, he's probably no. The Lycanroc's still gonna get sashed, but
It's still Focus Sash and Endeavor. Actually, that is scary. Which will probably be able to pick up the knockout indeed the next turn.
And on top of that, the Rock Slide is not going to be neutral damage because you're getting rid of that Fire typing for that Psychic.
Yeah, so it's back to neutral. It's gonna come down to basically how much this does.
And the Tyranitar stayed in on top of that.
I'm quite surprised at that one actually. I mean, maybe you don't really need Tyranitar depending on what's coming. Actually, that makes sense. You don't really need Tyranitar. It did its job.
Rock Slide double connects. Will it flinch on the Armor Rouge? Does decent damage.
Important part. That's the important part.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
He missed something. He missed D&D.
Okay, I think that's the least important one. Getting rid of that Armor Rouge is more important.
Oh my god! What is this game? Because this semifinals or is this Vegas?
That's what it feels like. This is basically, like you said, it's rolling a dice. That's basically it. This is Pokemon. This is the most luck-based semifinal match I think I've ever seen. 3 Rock Slide misses, 2 flinches. Oh my god.
We got a little bit of everything, and now this Kingambit. Oh wait, well, Sucker Punch the flying type on the Kingambit. Go to a helping hand here. No switch up from the Tyranitar either. So
I think Tyranitar's kind of done its job. Yeah. Sucker Punch.
Here it comes, and it will not knock out. Rock Slide comes in again. This might knock out the Indeedee. No, it won't. But
if Tyranitar goes for it, yeah.
Gets it again. That should be doing it. Oh, 26 HP, but I think the nail's on the wall, and a critical hit on top of that.
3 misses. Rock Slide misses, 2 flinches, and 1 critical hit. Welcome to Pokemon. Tyranitar does go down. Okay, that's fine. At this point, you do anything. I mean, you do anything.
I think the Lycanroc can finish this off.
Yeah, Lycanroc just needs to hit a Rock Slide.
When in doubt, Rock Slide it out. A famous quote from Eldritch Gun.
That's been my mantra this format. And there's Brian's Indeedee. Okay, actually, I'm surprised. I thought we were gonna see Dondozo, but Indeedee, I believe, does have Dazzling Gleam. So at this point, yeah,
it does have Dazzling Gleam, and there's a forfeit.
There's a forfeit. We're going to game 3.
Wow. How is Grand Finals being decided on Rock Slide? This is crazy.
I love Sand. Sand is so much fun. Whether it's luck based or not, there's one thing that it's always fun to play. I will never get sick of playing it. Never get sick of watching it. And we're gonna see it one more time. I mean, what do you do now?
I think you lead the same 3 games in a row. I don't see what's wrong.
Honestly, just roll a dice at this point. Call it a day because your entire game is luck based right now. No, but for real, I think you basically do the same.
It's actually really interesting to see the adaptation from game 1 to game 2 because you actually predicted the King Gambit to protect instead of going for that low kick, going for the rock slide. Even though it missed, it still was the right idea to not go for a low kick because if you its only purpose was really to knock out the King Gambit, and if you don't do that, you're stuck.
Yeah, and I think King Gambit doesn't really do too much damage once you get rid of the rock typing. You're not weak to anything. I mean, you could get Kowtow Cleave, but at that point. Assurance. Sorry, thank you. There's insurance. But it's not much. Maybe Ironhead, but like regardless of what happens, you're gonna be bulky. Tyranitar is a bulky Pokemon. What's interesting though, it's a little more fragile, especially because it doesn't have the Assault Vest, which most do. But you still also kind of have a built-in Assault Vest with a Sandstorm. So and then you can just invest in your physical defense a bit and HP a bit and call it a day, which I think is what we're seeing. But
I mean, we're looking at Brandon's screen right now. He feels confident about the Hawlucha King Gambit lead, but I think it just comes down to mind games at this point.
It is, and luck, and rock slides. So I think
Brandon's saying, "Hey, you beat me because of luck. I know I can beat you with the same 4."
Yeah, I think honestly,
both teams are locked in.
I think we're gonna see the exact same, like you said, the exact same lead with the sand. I'm just wondering, are we going to see Armorginity, or Dondozo Tatsugiri, or Dondozo Indy? That's another combo that is possible. I feel like there's a lot of... It's just the back. What's in the back? That's the mind game here. What is in the back? And
here we go. Brian's going to send out Lightning Rocket to Dondozo!
I actually think that's not horrible.
I mean, it's not, because you could go one of two ways. Like, again, this plays more than the mind games. Do you swap out the Dondozo for Tyranitar, or do you swap out the Lightning Rock for the Tatsugiri?
Exactly. And honestly, with these two combo, I would probably switch into Tatsugiri right now. Because you can get rid of Hawlucha before it really does anything. You can also hit that King Gambit. I do think that the Hawlucha is... Well, actually, no. I don't know which one's more of a threat. Because Hawlucha doesn't really do much.
I mean, it won't do much with the Dondozo, but Lightning Rock will be with down the Sash, and I don't know if you want to go down the Sash this early.
Honestly, going down to Sashes early is not a horrible option because you can then switch into Tyranitar and endeavor that Hawlucha and get rid of it.
Lightning Rock switches, this will be...
Yeah, okay, that's smart.
Will this be Tatsugiri, or will this be something we didn't expect? No, it's a Tatsugiri.
Yeah, okay. Now the question is, what move do you pick? You have Wave Crash, Terra Blast, which is...
And Rock Slide.
Terra could happen right now, but I don't think you're going to use it anyways. It's not smart to Terra into something that's got a flying type. But it's going to be Wave Crash or Rock Slide, and I honestly think what's going to be Wave Crash.
I mean, I can also see Rock Slide just using the threat of the Hawlucha here as it goes for the Detect, just trying to scout out for whatever happened that turn because you didn't know what was going to happen. Here goes Wave Crash into the King Gambit
slot. And honestly, that makes sense. It's not...
Ooh, a lot of damage. Going to take a amount of recoil damage. What did the King Gambit do here? He went for Iron Head and it went to Lycan Rock.
That is actually one of the... I think that's one of the best feelings in the world when you're playing Tatsugiri Dondozo and they go for the Tatsugiri slot, which wasn't Tatsugiri a minute ago. Like, you just get a free turn there. And I think right now, you just basically click Rock Slide if you're Brian and hope that you survive enough to be able to rest later on. But I think, yeah, this Hawlucha's not going to be able to do much. Rock Slide knocks out King Gambit, will do really nicely on Hawlucha. I think it's the...
Okay, yeah, and we're going to see Brandon go ahead and try to activate the Hawlucha's Unburden ability with the Psychic Seed, with the Psychic Surge.
There's no doubt.
I mean, we saw how much Rock Slide did to the Indeedee with the Lightning Rock. Will this do more than the Lightning Rock, or will it do less? Or around the same?
I'm going to guess that this is going to do about 50% onto the Hawlucha, maybe just under on Indeedee. But Indeedee's not very physically defensive.
Drain Punch comes in, going to do so little damage. And, I really think Brandon can hear the Wave Crash into the Hawlucha. It's going to take a guaranteed knockout.
Okay.
And now...
Wow, smart.
Yeah, and now I have to wonder if Brandon's regretting thinking that Tyranitar was going to be his option.
I think, yeah, just not... The thing is, not bringing in Meowscarada was really brutal.
I mean, Armor is just nice with the Expanding Force, but...
I think...
Have you got the Terra Psychic? I think you got the Terra Psychic here.
You have to Terra Psychic and you have to Expanding Force. But honestly, Dondozo... Honestly, maybe...
How much damage is he taking, though? It's like a boost in power because of the Expanding Force properties. You got Psychic Terrain boosting it, and now you have the Adaptability boost.
That's interesting. Potential Trick Room.
Oh, he's not going... Wait, is he not going to go for it? Is he going for the Follow Me? Follow Me I could get because you don't want your Armor to take as much damage as you want, but do you really want to go into an endgame with Armor and a very heavily damaged King Gambit?
I'm thinking we're going to see potentially on Brian's side Rest. I wouldn't be surprised because Wave Crash is going to put it in range where Armor is down. If we see Rest, or it'll probably live...
Trick Room's going to be the option.
Yeah, that's very, very well played. Brian needs to go for
I don't want to call commentators curse on anything, but if this expanding force crits, this may be trouble.
I think right now Brian just needs to hit something. I was thinking rest is very viable, but if you go for the wave crash, it does. Okay.
Okay, Ray Crash comes in, so it's going to take a trade of the needy, or will it will take a trade?
I think at this point, that's it. The expanding force is definitely gonna knock out. You have your Tatsugiri, which is good. It's probably the good news, and this is what's most important. Yeah, you're losing your Dondozo. The rest of your Pokemon are going to be faster than the two that Brandon has.
Oh, nice critical hit, by the way.
Of course, it's Pokemon Lock. Critical hit at the very last turn when you don't need it.
Here's the problem, though, because, again, you have a very heavily damaged Kingambit, and you're dealing with a Tyranitar potentially in the back, as well as the Lightning Rock that we already know. And it is a Lightning Rock coming back in.
I think at this point you Rock Slide and Muddy Water, or Hydro Pump. I think Hydro Pump. Both of them are fine. Maybe Draco Meteor.
Watch him switch out Tatsugiri just to activate the Rock Slide and just put it up the lock, but I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because Tyranitar is immune to the expanding force.
That's true. I don't be surprised to see that switch out either, but as long as you get rid of Kingambit, it's.
And on top of that, Electric Rock still has his Focus Sash from earlier.
Yeah, actually, that's really nice because if that happens, you could, if you land the Rock Slide on Lycanroc here, and that Kingambit goes down, and then it's just.
What do you mean by Rock Slide landing on Lycanroc?
I'm sorry, with Lycanroc hitting Rock Slide on both Pokemon.
No switch shots. We do see a Terrestrialization. Is this Tatsugiri to steal?
I'm surprised.
It is!
Tiny little Terra Jewel, I love it.
The X Murderer!
It's the tiniest little hat. Oh, that's awesome. No, I think, yeah, as long as Lycanroc is... Okay, Kingambit's going to protect, which is not bad at all. Because I was just thinking Endeavor mechanics could be fun. But
Rock Slide comes in. First of all, will it hit Armor Rouge?
Let's see.
That's the first question. It does hit.
Yeah.
Second question, I mean, I think Tatsugiri might be faster now that I think about it. Oh, Armor Rouge flinched! And Draco Meteor goes into the protect!
It's Pokemon, what else do you expect? Of course it's gonna flinch. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, you just, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have to Rock Slide a Draco Meteor because you don't really have anything else you can do. And then, you can't Sucker Punch. Honestly, I would go for a Double Protect on Kingambit to try and stall.
He's not gonna do it! He's gonna go for the Rock Slide!
Yeah.
Oh! Kingambit survives on 9 HP! Armor Rouge switches again! And the Draco Meteor connects onto the Kingambit!
Another flinch! Oh my goodness. I just don't even know what to say anymore. Double flip. This is what Sand is all about. Flinch. No, I'm just kidding. It's
okay. Maybe the third time's the charm.
If this survives and gets flinched, I'm done. I don't even know what to say. That would be one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Rock Slide comes in, does connect again. Single target is a knockout. Brian Collins is heading to grand finals on the back of the Lycanroc and Tyranitar combo.
Double flinch. Oh my gosh. We saw 3 Rock Slide misses, 4 flinches, and 2 critical hits in the span of the games we saw. So much luck involved, and it just. I don't know what I don't know if those flinches at the end mattered. I mean, but. Oh, that was one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time. And congratulations there to Brian because, you know, I've been saying Sand is amazing. Just like I've been saying with Trick Room's making a comeback, I think Sand is so much fun. I think it hits so much in this format between Tyranitar and Lycanroc. And seeing that combo come back and make it to the final, I'm really happy. I can't wait to see it again. I'd like to see it soon.
Yeah, I see skill issue being in the Twitch chat on the distance. It really is a skill issue.
Oh man!
But I wanted to also point out something because we saw the Tatsugiri Terrestrialize into the Steel type because I'm pretty sure Expanding Force would have for sure been a knockout on both Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Tatsugiri is really fragile.
But how fragile is it with Terra Steel?
It probably would have lived a hit. I think it would have lived a hit. Honestly, I think...
let's be real. The Rock Slides really decided the game there last semifinal.
Yeah, actually, what surprised me was Kingambit survived one of the Rock Slides. Because what I was thinking is, it was really smart, because if you were able to get rid of the Kingambit and just leave yourself down to Armor Rouge, you click Endeavor, you bring out Tyranitar, and you win. That's it.
I think it was also really smart for Brian to not go for the knockout on the Indeedee, but instead go for the Hawlucha.
Yeah, I think so too, because Indeedee can, it could Trick Room, but you're not going to want to Trick Room when Hawlucha's on the field, so you want to target your biggest threat, and that was definitely the right call, especially because I believe that was coming off of Protect, So you knew you could hit it.
You mean detect?
Or detect, yes, thank you.
We don't want to get imprisoned here, okay?
I've actually seen some in prison, yeah, and we've seen Gothitelle too. But that means Lycanroc Tyranitar going to the final. Yes, little favoritism there. But no, we'll see Brian back here in a few moments for the final match with whoever won the last of our semifinal matches. So stick around to see who wins the tournament.